There comes a moment in every life when the weight of the world presses down so hard that even breathing feels like an achievement. The mind races, the heart pounds, and everything seems just too much. And yet, it is in these moments, these crucibles of chaos, that the power to focus, to rise, and to act reveals itself. You are stronger than the storm you face, and today we will learn how to channel that strength. Before we dive deeper, if you find value in these words, do not hesitate. Like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to join our community of learners and doers. Recognize that feeling overwhelmed is natural. You are human, not a machine. Accepting the chaos is the first step toward regaining control. Focus only on what you can control, not what you cannot. Ask yourself, what small action today will bring me forward? Write down your top 3 tasks or goals. Let go of the rest temporarily. Freedom comes through focus. Break big challenges into bite-sized steps. Remember, progress is built quietly, one deliberate action at a time. Practice mindfulness, reflection, or journaling. Train your mind to return to focus even when distraction screams. Seek guidance from mentors, friends, or communities. Sharing your journey lightens the load and strengthens commitment. If any of these strategies resonate with you, comment below with one small step you'll take today to reclaim your focus. I'd love to hear your commitment. Remember, the storms of life do not last forever, but the habits we build in those storms define us forever. If this message has touched your heart, if it has reminded you that even in chaos you can rise, please engage with this video. Like it, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to be part of a movement where focus meets action. When life feels overwhelming, it is not the world that needs to bend, it is our mind that must rise. Focus is not a gift, it is a choice. Choose it every single day. Life has a way of piling responsibilities, worries, and unexpected challenges all at once. It can feel like standing in the middle of a storm, with every direction pulling at you, and no moment of calm in sight. Feeling overwhelmed is not a sign of weakness. It is a signal that your mind and body are alert, trying to process everything at the same time. You are human, and humans are not designed to carry endless burdens without pause. It is natural to feel anxious, exhausted, or scattered when the pressures of life converge. Many people try to push through these moments by ignoring their emotions, pretending everything is fine, or forcing themselves to perform as if nothing is happening. This only adds weight because emotions that are denied do not disappear. They accumulate, cloud judgment, and drain energy. The first step to regaining focus is to acknowledge that the overwhelm exists. Look it in the eye. Name it. Accept that it is there and that it is affecting you. By doing this, you shift from being trapped in chaos to standing as an observer who can make choices. Recognizing the overwhelm also reduces the secret shame that often comes with it. We live in a society that celebrates constant productivity, as if pausing to breathe is a failure. But acknowledging overwhelm is a brave act. It is honest, realistic, and human. It allows you to give yourself permission to slow down, just enough to see what matters most. When you admit that things feel heavy, you create space for clarity. You can separate what needs immediate attention from what can wait. You can see patterns, notice small wins, and realize that not everything is urgent. Accepting the overwhelm also opens the door to compassion, both for yourself and others. When you understand your limits, you are less likely to judge yourself harshly for needing help or taking breaks. It allows your mind to stop resisting reality and start working with it, rather than against it. In this state, focus is no longer about forcing yourself to do more. It is about deciding what truly deserves your attention, energy, and presence. By facing the pressure, naming it, and allowing yourself to feel it without shame, you lay the foundation for calm. Deliberate action that transforms the chaos into manageable steps. When life feels overwhelming, it is easy to feel trapped in a storm that has no end, as if every problem is magnified and every challenge is heavier than it really is. The mind tends to focus on what is chaotic, what is uncertain, and what seems impossible to control. But perspective is a tool that can transform how we experience these moments. Perspective is not about denying reality or pretending problems do not exist. It is about choosing where to direct your energy, what to give attention to, and how to interpret the situations around you. You cannot control everything, and trying to do so only multiplies stress, anxiety, and frustration. Instead, focusing on what you can influence gives you a sense of power, even when the world feels unstable. Ask yourself simple questions like, what can I do right now that matters? Or, what step, however small, will move me forward? This shifts the mind from chaos to clarity. Perspective also helps you see that what feels monumental today may, with time, appear manageable or even small. Human emotions have a way of enlarging problems when we are too close to them, like looking through a magnifying glass that distorts everything. Stepping back, mentally or emotionally, allows you to see patterns, solutions, and opportunities that were hidden in the overwhelm. It also builds resilience, because when you focus on controllable actions, your energy is spent on growth and progress rather than worry. Perspective helps you make decisions calmly instead of reacting impulsively, because you are no longer ruled by panic or fear. It connects your current challenges to a bigger picture, reminding you that setbacks are part of a journey and not the end of it. By consciously choosing where to focus, you reduce mental clutter, strengthen emotional balance, and regain a sense of agency. Every time you shift your perspective, even slightly, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you think. Life may still be complicated, but clarity grows, choices become sharper, and overwhelm loses its power when your focus is guided by perspective rather than panic. When life feels overwhelming, it is easy to get lost in a sea of tasks, responsibilities, and expectations. Every day can feel like a battle against time, with too many things demanding attention and too few hours to give them. The mind becomes scattered, energy drains quickly, and focus seems impossible to hold. Clarity through prioritization is the tool that cuts through this chaos. It starts by asking a simple but powerful question: what truly matters right now? Not everything on your plate deserves equal attention, and treating it as if it does only deepens overwhelm. Writing down your top tasks or goals brings your mind from scattered thoughts into clear action. This act itself creates mental space, because a task in writing is no longer floating chaotically in your head, pulling energy in every direction. Prioritization also forces you to distinguish between urgent and important. Urgent tasks scream for attention, but important tasks build long-term success and stability. By focusing on what is important, you invest your energy where it will create the greatest results. It also teaches you to let go of distractions, trivial worries, and obligations that do not align with your goals. Saying no, even quietly to yourself, is a powerful way to reclaim focus. Prioritization is not just about productivity, it is about self-respect and self-awareness. When you know what matters, you honor your time and energy rather than giving them away to noise and chaos. Human minds are wired to respond to structure, and by arranging tasks in order of significance, the brain can process challenges more efficiently. Small steps toward the highest priorities build momentum and confidence, and each completed task reinforces the feeling of control. Overwhelm often comes from trying to do everything at once, but prioritization reminds you that not everything is your responsibility right now, and that progress is made through deliberate, focused choices. It creates a path through the storm, a way to act with intention rather than being dragged by circumstance, and it strengthens the mind's ability to focus even in moments of pressure and uncertainty. When life feels overwhelming, it is tempting to believe that only big, dramatic actions can make a difference. The mind convinces us that unless we solve everything at once, nothing will change, and this thinking creates paralysis. The truth is that focus and progress are built through small, consistent actions repeated over time. Each tiny step, no matter how insignificant it seems, moves you closer to clarity and control. Completing one small task today is more powerful than planning 10 tomorrow and doing nothing. Human behavior responds to momentum, and consistency fuels momentum like nothing else. When you take small steps, your mind and body learn that progress is possible, even in the midst of chaos. These actions also reduce the pressure of overwhelm because they make challenges manageable. A mountain climbed one step at a time becomes reachable, whereas staring at the peak all at once feels impossible. Small actions create patterns of success that reinforce confidence. Each time you act deliberately, you are teaching your mind that focus is a habit, not a talent you must be born with. Over time, these habits compound. A single minute spent on a task may seem trivial, but repeated daily, it becomes hours of accomplishment. Consistency also strengthens resilience, because the mind becomes trained to respond to pressure with action rather than panic. Small steps allow for adjustment, reflection, and learning, giving you control over direction instead of reacting blindly to circumstance. Breaking larger goals into bite-sized actions transforms uncertainty into clarity and transforms fear into courage. When your mind sees progress, no matter how small, it releases motivation and energy, creating a cycle that drives focus naturally. It is also deeply human to crave visible results, and small actions provide those signals daily. Even when life is chaotic, these deliberate, manageable steps anchor you to purpose and prevent overwhelm from hijacking your mind. By committing to small, consistent actions, you are building a bridge from where you are to where you want to be, one step at a time, and each step makes the journey lighter, clearer, and more achievable. When life feels overwhelming, it is easy for emotions to take control, pulling your focus in every direction and leaving the mind restless. Fear, doubt, frustration, and worry act like invisible weights, slowing progress and clouding judgment. Developing a strong mindset and emotional discipline is the key to navigating chaos without losing yourself. The mind is like a garden. If you allow weeds of negative thoughts to grow unchecked, they will choke out clarity, motivation, and focus. But if you cultivate positive habits of thought, patience, and self-awareness, your mind becomes fertile ground for progress. Emotional discipline does not mean ignoring feelings. It means observing them, understanding them, and deciding how to act despite them. Acknowledge fear without letting it dictate decisions. Recognize frustration but refuse to let it paralyze action. Human minds are wired to respond to repeated patterns, and by consciously choosing calm, deliberate responses, you train your brain to prioritize focus over panic. Mindset shapes perception. When you view challenges as temporary obstacles rather than insurmountable walls, the brain begins to seek solutions instead of fixating on problems. Emotional discipline creates a buffer between stimulus and reaction, allowing space for thoughtful decisions rather than impulsive reactions. Daily practices like reflection, journaling, meditation, or even simple breathing exercises strengthen this control. They train the mind to return to focus when distraction or stress threatens. Resilience grows with every moment you respond intentionally instead of reacting instinctively. Mindset and emotional discipline also affect energy levels because mental chaos drains the body faster than physical exertion. A calm, disciplined mind preserves energy, sustains motivation, and keeps attention steady. It is in these quiet, deliberate moments that you reclaim control over life's pressures. Even small shifts in perspective, repeated consistently, can transform how you experience challenges. By strengthening mindset and emotional discipline, you turn overwhelm into opportunity, chaos into clarity, and distraction into purposeful action, giving yourself the power to stay focused even when life demands more than you think you can give. When life feels overwhelming, it is easy to think that you must face every challenge alone, carrying every burden on your shoulders. Human beings are not designed for isolation, and strength grows when we connect with others and reflect on our experiences. Support systems are more than just comfort. They are lifelines that provide perspective, guidance, and encouragement when your own mind feels cloudy. Friends, family, mentors, or communities act as mirrors, helping you see solutions that may be invisible when you are caught in the storm. Sharing struggles does not make you weak. It gives you clarity and lightens the load. Sometimes, simply expressing your thoughts and feelings out loud allows your mind to organize chaos into actionable steps. Reflection is the companion of support. Taking time to pause, think, and assess your journey gives meaning to actions and reinforces learning. When you look back on decisions, challenges, and outcomes, you gain insight into what works and what does not, which strengthens focus for the future. Humans thrive on connection, feedback, and shared experience, and a strong support system nurtures resilience by reminding you that you are not alone in facing difficulties. It also fosters accountability. When others know your intentions or goals, their encouragement motivates follow through and helps you maintain consistency, even when motivation wanes. Reflection turns experiences into wisdom. By examining your day, your reactions, and your choices, you see patterns that either hinder or enhance focus. This self-awareness is a powerful tool, helping you adjust strategies, strengthen discipline, and make intentional progress. Support and reflection together create a safe space for growth. They transform overwhelm into opportunity, confusion into clarity, and despair into hope. Life is unpredictable, but when you actively build and lean on your support networks, and when you take time to reflect honestly, your ability to stay focused becomes stronger, more sustainable, and deeply human. These practices remind you that strength is not measured by solitary effort alone, but by the connections you nurture and the lessons you learn from every challenge. They make you more resilient, more centered, and more capable of navigating the complexities of life without losing yourself in the chaos.